I'm so excited for spring and all things green and colorful and the flowers and I just want to see color again. So today I just want to talk about how I did for the Read-O-Rama Readathon round 6. So this was my first readathon and I was really excited and positive that I will do well. And then in the middle of it, I'm like, what was I thinking? After I picked my TBR, I looked at it and I thought, did you think you were a speed reader? Because there's no way you're gonna read all these books in the time that you're allotted. And I was like, yes, self, you are right. I was being silly and I don't know what I was thinking about. So I read a total of one book, and that is Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marie. This book was so good. It put me in like sort of a reading slump because everything I read after it was just so flat compared to this one. It was probably not a good idea to read this first because, you know, I kind of felt drained emotionally after. But then I thought it was a good idea to read this first because it was my longest book on my TBR. But you know what? I'm happy to have read this and I'm hoping to do a review at some point, but I also partly blame it for me not really doing well on this readathon. I mean, okay, it's not the book's fault. There were other reasons, and number one, like I said, was my Unrealistic TBR. So I think next time, if I do decide to try this again, I'm gonna go for more realistic books. Maybe books that are under 200 pages instead of the ones that I picked. For example, the smallest book on my pile had 300 pages, and I just was not going to do that in one day, especially because I had responsibilities and just, guys, being an adult just gets in the way of things, and all of a sudden life decided to become more busy. It's kind of like, oh hey, you're trying to do this in this amount of time, let me get in your way because, you know, like, I've been leaving you alone for quite some time. You know what, I think this is the perfect time for me to just make your life busy. And I was like, why? And then there was also lack of sleep. I think ever since I stayed up for Daughter of the Forest, I have messed up my sleeping schedule. So every time I'm trying to read at night, I'm like, I'm so sleepy right now, nothing is sticking, and I would just put the book down and I would just not read and I would just be on my phone, and I was like, this is so stupid, why am I not reading? But I just didn't feel like reading. And you're probably wondering, Sherry, why don't you read during the day? And I really wish I could, but again, like, stuff needed to be done and reading was not gonna be one of them because it just didn't work out. I think next time I need to better plan my day and hopefully get better sleep so that I can actually focus on what I'm reading, because I really wanted to do well and I was so excited to get like 7 books out of my never-ending TBR, but yeah. I also ended up DNFing one book because I just couldn't get into it. I managed to get 40% through it, and in the end I was just like, why am I wasting my time? I don't like what I'm reading. So I put that down, which meant that, you know, reading those 40% kind of ended up being time wasted because I could have spent that reading a better book. And yeah, so I'm still reading. I'm making my way through The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet, and I really like it. So there is hope of me getting out of this slump because I hate reading slumps so much. It almost seems like when there was a time limit set on me, my brain was just like, no, that is not happening. And I was like, why? And I don't know if you ever feel this way, but you know when sometimes people tell you to do something and you're like, no, because you told me to do it, I'm not gonna do it. So I feel like that was my brain during Read-O-Rama. I was just like, brain, let's do this, we're gonna finish a book. And my brain was just like, no. And then my eyes were just like, I'm tired. And then it was a mess, guys. It was a mess. I think next time what I'm gonna do is starting with the shortest book on my pile, so when I finish that quickly I'll feel better and get in this momentum of finishing books, so maybe that'll help. I'll probably also join the reading sprints. I tried joining the sprints, but I found them kind of distracting because I was already sprinting on my own, and I felt like if I went on Twitter, it'll kind of distract me from the story, and then it'll take more time for me to focus again. So I don't know, maybe sprints are where the magic is at, and I missed it, so maybe next time I'll try that. Let me know how you guys did for Read-O-Rama Readathon. Any tips you found really helpful, any favorites that you discovered, or if you didn't do Read-O-Rama, talk to me about readathons. Do you have favorite ones? Have you ever done one? Do you think you ever will? The biggest thing I discovered was the fact that readathons are exhausting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was exhausting. I feel like even if I didn't finish all the books I wanted to finish, my brain is kind of like... So yeah, I don't know if I'll do this again. I'll probably try and see how well it can fit my schedule next time. It has been great talking to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, or if you just feel bad for me, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Other than that, read books, be kind, and don't let the muggles get you down. Bye!